moment on this conference that I went for in Nairobi, when the South African Minister of Transport stood up in the gathering where there are political parties from all over the world, and he said to me, he said, I want to applaud Liberia because your election was so tight, hotly contested, and President Bouakai only defeated President Weah less than 30,000 votes. And yet, President Weah conceded. He said, you people should continue that democracy. I was proud. I'm going to say anyway, therefore, President, we have to concede and keep our democracy on the path it is. It's something, of course, I'm proud of, and I'm happy he did that. I will praise him any day for that, because not many Africans can do that. Look, let's stop all these political noise. When people do something good, praise them. He could have stayed in power like other people. Yes, he could have done that. When President Bouakai
say that, he said people retirement program, you went there, you took picture. You see, my people, how dangerous it is, how these people have turned the entire security sector into a political, how you call a wing of the Unity Party. Honorable Doba, these were just some of the things that really caught my mind during the course of the week. And I just thought to to say out
my brother,
before we move on.
Your initial comments were well grounded, but Joseph Bouakai, what else do you expect from a lesbian old man? He was confused by the conversion of sedition this weekend, so he needed to impose upon himself a basic schedule that makes no sense. But that, for me, that is better. At least Joseph Bouakai is gravitating to dedicate a car is better. The first ever project dedicated by Joe Bouakai was a decorated container painted in blue, red at the intersection of Boulevard and SKD Boulevard and the Tubman Boulevard, right there, the SKD Boulevard and Tubman Boulevard. Police put decorated with flower and balloons. We also saw his wife going in Pinsville, dedicating a already built hospital that was just repainted by blue paint. Joseph Bouakai has dedicated a building already constructed by George Weah. It's already there. It was initially dedicated, and when he rededicated it, he's desperate. His desperation for recognition is like a disease from birth that has no cure. This man wants to dedicate things that make no sense. If you want to dedicate, break ground, invest money, time, and resources. Stop being corrupt. Then you will dedicate projects. But such a condition, Mr. Joe Bouakai is extremely less busy. He has nothing to do, nothing to offer. So he goes around wasting money, looking for tasks that got no relevance to his day-to-day function. So that was what he saw. So that could not take my attention. It's like door and main. The day main boy door, they're not news. But door button main are not news because door always button main. So when human be boy door, it's who the other human be that boy door? Let me go see him. That is what they got news in the newsroom. But door boy human be is clear. So that is it. Joseph Bouakai, he went and dedicated a container for police to go in. A container, a corrosive container. It was dedicated, painted with blue and red. And you saw the entire government. You see, there's a guy that called Gregory Como, guy who can make rapists to go free, scot-free. He's right there. You see his other executives and members from the executive branch of government. Some legislative members are there. Very less busy on the Monday. Joe Bouakai. You could even send, a low-level director to go there. Even the police director could have just gone there. Or even some operation person from the police sector or the security sector. But Joe Bouakai left serious work during the day. He go over there. So if Joe Bouakai can dedicate this type of structure, look at it. It's been only less than 2 weeks. It was damaged. What else can Bouakai not do? What else, Prince? So should I waste my time on Bouakai and doing what he does best to make fun and to be less busy, to misplace his priority? That is what he does best. He does it all of the time. Joe Boyka got nothing to do, nothing to offer. So he says, and eat and use a card, 100,000 debit card, shopping, and then go and dedicate funding foolish and he lets projects. So for me, it's not strange, Mr. Prince Sharif. It's not strange.
Wow. Fellow Liberians, this is sad. This is sad to have a president who came on the mantra of rescue, and we have reached
that goal will be achieved. For Prince, Saturday was historical. Saturday was the rebirth of the People Revolutionary Party. Saturday was a break of new dawn. Saturday was a day that would send a clear message to Joseph Imambwaka. He only have 3 more years, and the UP will retire. We will be re-elected to take state power and move the country forward. And thank you.
we front against you, Joseph Imambwaka. When you will tell the people that who working to you, where you say go sit down home, go enjoy yourself. When they still tell them say you're go sit down home, you're retire. In fact, they don't look at him as a president.
A government that is not concerned, Prince, about the bread and butter issue of the people, or they are concerned about running competition with it. I don't understand. It baffles me. It beats my imagination to see a government that does everything she can to be into competition with CDC. Listen, this has never happened in our country history. What happened on Saturday is the first of its kind. And I don't want Liberia to be compared, CDC now put out number before. No. We have put out number before doing political rally. We have put out number before when we having a political gathering. What happened on Saturday has never happened in our country history. No political party has still to be corrected. We overheard that 3 party has a party called the world. That's a history. We discussed that. But in our generation, we have never seen the political party breaking ground to build a state of the art or headquarters. No political party has ever done that. We are the only people that have done it in the history of Liberia. And because of just mere groundbreaking, it to a tsunami. And they want to come here and compare it to political gathering or whatever. I don't even know what they're doing on the 6th of December. I don't know, Prince. But President Weah's arrival was a signal. We know and we'll continue to say and we'll be resolute and we never regret our statement and our position that the election was a fraud. It was taken away. The election was stolen. But the reason why we don't talk too much because we're in government and we overlook everything that was happening. So we blame ourselves. We know they never won election in our country. We know a Bwaka cannot win a George Weah. We know that. All right. So the people that came out to tell President Bwaka that going forward, CDC is not the one that that own Liberia. If you want peace, we'll come in pieces. If you want to take our life, they will have to do everything to preserve our life. And these are a signal now they have started sending out, both during the groundbreaking and during the president's arrival. His birthday, Prince. CDC are now they have started to set out signal. Not the CDC are Liberians. All right? Liberians. Sending out signal. That 2029 is not a year for you to joke with you now. You can circumvent the will of the Liberian people to suit your interest. It will not work. So if I will end on this, Liberia will just send out a caveat to the United Party. That 2029 we are coming and we are coming in full. Whatever you do, we will reciprocate sin. If you take our lives, in the process of preserving our life or protecting our life, if you come in the crossfire, you might like the laws as well. So far so good, Prince. I think we are just tired with the Unity Party style of intimidating Liberian people to play to their tune. We're tired with it. we have done a closer chapter of our country history. Elaborate deserve we all are on obligation to protect the peace. And now this division is also protect the peace. So thank you, Prince.
Thank you so much. I don't know, Jake. The government has a responsibility. When the government stood up through Joseph Numa Boyka on that January and took the oath, they took the oath to defend and protect the people. In defending and protecting the people, that will also provide for them. And before that, these people make us to understand that they get friends in higher places. They know people. They get connection. They can make things happen. They're able to make job to be all over the place. In fact, our children will no longer sell in the streets. They will be in school, blah, 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 and stuff like that. But it is unfortunate that these people, now what they are concentrating on now is using state resources, wanting to build a headquarters for themselves. We saw what happened recently with Joseph Numa Boyka home in Foya. That's not Joseph Numa Boyka money. This man told us that he was living on loan. He became president in less than no time. We saw what happened. $10 million. The man changed the whole house in rehab there, buying properties around. But what is going on? I thought these people have come to serve the Liberian people. Why are they using the Liberian people resources? And to divert the Liberian people attention, they brought in some kind of report that they brought in, a very, very selective report, something that has happened over the period. They brought in a report, and now they want to take the Liberian people attention from on the real issue. That is how they are stealing the Liberian people money to build a national headquarters. But let's hear from you. What is going on with this issue of the party building, the government building a national headquarters? Because that's the government. That's the government building a national headquarters.
Prince, let me tell you something. It never happened before. No country. If it happened, I pay for play. The next government that will come to power, let me tell you something. We're not stupid yet. We're not stupid yet anymore. Now, I way back time where Georgia was leaning, he said people coming after him. No, that's just a different ball game. We're waiting for them to build a party headquarters. We're waiting. I don't want to be distracted with a party headquarters. In any society, no matter what, they call it pay for play. You in government, you ain't got no right. After government, probably yet. And CDC, after CDC never have millions of dollars to pay party headquarters when we're in power. They go back, they go build party headquarters inside government, but no, there is a red time. 2 years, they decided to build a party headquarters. If the United Party go that route, we'll see what will happen. But that is distraction. The main point here is this. Prince, I told you these guys don't have connection. They cajole the Liberian people. They have propaganda machineries all over the world, all on social media spreading that gibberish. Lie to the Liberian people, it sank to the Liberian people for 5 to 6 good years. Today they came to power. 2 years into the presidency now. About 4 more years. Next week will be November. So what is happening? Nothing happening. I told you, Prince, the people have been blackballed. They can deliver. So now they're concentrating on party headquarters. Who's the paying that party headquarters was Joseph Boyka? They paying that party headquarters beyond Joseph Boyka. So they'll be using the Liberian taxpayer money, lying that they'll contribute. Cheap United Party people. You can say the country have. The cheap. Look at all our ministers. Look at those in the legislature. You can see them anywhere. Money not circulating the country during the Georgia era. When every half spot was happy, people go outside to get $20, $15. They are me group of people. Since early time, the United Party people notice to be mean. A reality. They don't have nobody. That's why when Georgia brought up free school or everything will be free, they went against it. Who's the one in power? Anybody? But a bunch of the dummy gullible society, They are Barbara laws and things. And oh, yeah, we got to pay school fee. Somebody making school free, university free. The university students, they're going to be on the side of the former president. 30,000 enrollment at that time. When you say free education, it never happened in our history before. All Dayton University, he teacher at University of Liberia, carry salary school, teach a professor then, a lecturer then school fee and that salary up. It never happened. They were making 800, 700. The medical fee also. That's what they were making 500, 600, 700. He carried it to $2,000 per month. $2,000 per month. People, all spectrum of our political arena, everywhere, Georgia make mark. So there was a global society in the Unity Party. I won't see that here. I don't think about AR video then whether they'll bring on the social media. We're ready for them. We're ready for the anything they bring we're taking that. We're taking that. So we want our own signature project because project take 2 to 3 years to finish. Real project, massive project. We get rainy season, we get dry season. So we know that project take time. That when you saw that corridor or the RRA, it taking long time because we get the rainy season, the dry season. So in the rainy season, they don't perform that role. So in the dry season, then you speed it on the hard job, I was doing all the development project in that country. You was speeding till going to places. But the Unity Party, they don't have money. I'll tire singing their song here with them. They don't have money. The president has traveled all around. He just left Togo. He just used big jet to go, big plane to go to Togo. He came back from Togo. What's happening? When you going to visit Togo for? Togo still having their own problem, financial problem. You can't say you're representative to go. What about you going to go to Taka country to Taka leaders and traveling all around the world? Then you don't go to Togo. Why you just flying plane from short distance to distance or long distance? No. The Togo trips have nothing come up. The Unity Party don't have money. They don't have that connection. They lie to the Liberian people. You're in the West. You're in America.
Well, fellow Liberians, home and abroad, it's a privilege again for us to be on here. And we want to use this time to extend our thanks and appreciation to all of you who continue to remain very supportive to what we do here. We want to say thank you so much. In a special way, let me welcome each and every one of you that have joined us. I want to say our DPS condolences to the former Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Joy Howard Taylor, who lost her son. We want to say, Madam VP, for and on behalf of Seditions, Wiashians, and your many followers in the diaspora, our DPS condolences for the loss of your son. It is our hope and our prayer that the Almighty will comfort and console you in this time of great pain. I also want to say our deepest condolences to one of our sister, Nina Kuya, who lost her sister. Our sister Nina Kuya, keep her in your prayers. She lost her sister, which is a very, 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 a difficult moment for the family. So our prayers are with you. We pray that whatever void that those family members have left back, that the Almighty will be able to fill them. So for and on behalf of the platform, we want to say our deepest condolences to the former Vice President, Madam Joy Howard Taylor, and also to our beloved sister, Nina Kuya. We are with you in prayers. It's a sad moment, but again, as people say, we cannot ask why. We can ask God why. These few days has been a very, very tough time for me, especially with my schedule and other stuff. It has been really, really tough. If you observe this week, we've been missing some couple of days. and it's because of the schedule. You know, the schedules are all very tight. But again, we are grateful that we are here. So while we are here, you will see me in and out. But I want to welcome my brother Jake. My brother Jake, welcome, sir. How are you? Welcome, Jake.
Yes, salute and thank you. And to the followers, you help to share our video. Yeah.
Yeah, so just
And
help me take over from
yeah,
here.
we know another day, yeah.
Into something quick. Just help me take over from
Yeah,
here.
let me to the followers, salute to everybody. As Prince said already, you've been busy. You know, everybody has a family issue. So you please bear with him. Yeah. Everybody passed through difficulties and other things. Yeah, we are all human beings. This regard, we have to share this video. It is free Yeah, okay. Followers, probably that's what's up. Glitchy, probably you please here to share this video. Yes, as I said, probably Prince has a problem concerning, everybody passed through problem. You please have to share the video. And now I'm gonna follow me on my Facebook page. I'll be having my podcast, Detroit Whitmore. So all the followers here, I'm gonna please follow me. We're in 2026 now, so you please follow me on my Facebook page, Detroit Whitmore. As you see here, I will accept you. Probably next week, I'll be starting my own little small podcast to discuss national issue concerning our country and other social things. So you please have to follow me. Follow us on the Palava Hut. You can switch to me. I will enjoy beautiful, beautiful content. Probably when Prince don't come on most of the time, I want for you to follow me. Let me say something to the followers here. Not serious sad news, but something that's happening that I think a message circulating on social media that two beautiful Liberian sisters were arrested in Sierra Leone for drugs. I don't know the detail of that case, but according to the Sierra Leone High Court, these people were found guilty and sentenced to probably 35 years. 35 years in prison. I don't know if it's truthful, because on the social media, not everything that on social media is actually factual. Probably is factual. 35 years is sentenced them for drugs in Sierra Leone, Freetown, according to the Sierra Leone High Court. And also in Liberia, 4 Liberians were arrested for drugs, 2 Sierra Leone among the Liberians. I don't know what happened in Shima justice system at the Bow Waters are entering. And after some time, these guys have been released. And you all know that our country, judge is non-bailable and rape. So I don't know how our own system work. And then the president and the DEA, the fighting judge, as he said, as he claimed. But those that were arrested with drugs, they paraded these people on the social media. And today they let them go. But on the other hand, Liberians that were arrested in Sierra Leone, 2 beautiful females that were arrested in Sierra Leone, a Liberian national, arrested in Sierra Leone, was sentenced to jail, to prison. Some say 35 years. That's a massive number. 35 years for drugs. I don't know how the justice system, the judge case work in Sierra Leone, but for me, in our country, it's not bailable and rape. So I don't know how the other Sierra Leoneans got away with these things in Grand Cape County, but Sierra Leone arrested. So you can see how the whole system has been playing. You can know now the Sierra Leone police is in collaboration with the Liberian police. Gregory Como went to Sierra Leone. The paradia that said they're working together, not Interpol, but police that changed me. They're working together. So I don't know how it will lead to the country. But follower, you have to share the video. Let me address something here on the Palava Hut. You have to share our video. This coming Monday will be the State of the Nation addressed by the President of the Republic, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Joseph Himan Puaka will be addressing the nation concerning a last year tangible. So every Liberian will be gluing to radio station to see what kind of address or the speech writer will put into that message for the president. If they will cajole the Liberian people, but thank God for social media and thank God for all that. Liberian people say we're not stupid anymore. So we'll be watching the president's sonar at the Capitol building. We'll be watching the sonar, so we'll see 2025 what the president did, and going forward to 2026, what will be a plan for the Liberian people. Time going so fast. Everybody counting on 2029, but now you can see we're in the end. Probably tomorrow is the 24th of January 2026. Another week from now, we will be in February. In February is very short. So the year is going forward. So to all the followers, there's no time. People can say, there's no time, actually. Time wait for no man. So if you want to undertake anything, speed it up, work hard, make yourself happy. So it's time. We're moving forward now, no turning back. So to the followers, I would just like to encourage you people. One message to the followers here, those that honor the Palava Hall. Let me just say this to the followers before I proceed to what I want to talk about. Probably Prince will come and join me later. But in our society, Liberians, or that's in our society, or Africa in general, but let's talk about our country, my country, Liberia. A lot of Liberian, that's a lot of Liberian can say, or African people can say, life is short. But today I'm here to debunk that lies. There is nothing part of the Bible nor the Quran will tell you life is short. But Liberian people always say life is short, life is short. No, life is not short. For me, it's reality. It's false narrative. Life is never short, life is long. Let me break it down. That's an African concept. I know we always die, followers. But I'm not talking about cardiac arrest or accident. These things happen, yes. But the same Bible told people, those that believe in God, or those that believe in the Christian faith, or even Islam, or Muslim, how you can call it. They said, God said, why die before your time? If life is really short, why God made that particular quotation or that phrase? The Bible tells you why die before time. Why die before your time? People, if you really understand it, people die before their time. A lot of people die before their time. That's facts. I'm not talking about, I know we always leave the earth here, but life is very long. I'm not talking about cardiac arrest. I'm not talking about accident. These things happen. Untimely death happen, but life is very long. Let me consult my followers here under the Palava Hall. I want you to erase that narrative. Erase it. Life is not short. Because I know if life was short, Liberians, if life was very short, as you people claim, look at our country right now. Facts. The old in the Republic of Liberia is burying the young. So if life is really short, why the old they not going allowed, but the young dying? Why? Let me tell you something. I live in the Western world. Probably Liberia, we have poor healthcare system. We're one of the poorest in the West African region. But let me tell you, there is no doctors on this planet will tell you you get sick today, you die today. No, it never happen. It can never happen. Never. I'm not talking about accident. You cannot get sick today and die today. It's not possible. So what can happen to most people? We don't do what they call checkup. Sickness emerging to sickness get into people. But we will wait for the sickness to spread. I will break it down. I will give you some scenario here tonight before I join you the Liberian issue. We will wait for the sickness to spread. If people only laugh free, if you don't want to admit, a lot of Liberians don't go off, don't do checkup. You gotta check your body. Every year you go to your doctor, you go to beautiful or good doctor, pay your money, they will check you. If you sick, and then they will diagnose you. Because through the blood, doctor find a lot of sickness, the blood. Not, they will do your urine, they will do a lot of things. But more cases, through the blood, they find a lot of sickness. So a lot of Liberians very, very reluctant. 2, 3, 4, 5 years, Liberians don't check that self. So when they go up with second-hand sickness, the sickness start to developing there, they don't do checkup. Then after many years, the sickness spread and destroy the immune system. Then, sudden, they take you to the hospital. Then in a trigger of the hour, you hear the person die. They will say, oh, the person was just sick in 2 days now. No. Majority of the death in the Republic of Liberia, majority death in the Republic of Liberia, by sickness, it's been in the person for a very long time, but Liberian people never do checkup. Now, when you see the Western world in other good countries, they put health care first. Health is life. Seriously, health is life. Seriously, it's the key to life. It's not money. They got to get various type of sources. I will give you the scenario. While I'm saying this, the man that made the Apple phone, the great, may so rest in peace, the great Steve Jobs, that made the iPhone, the Apple today, that changed face of technology concerning phone today, that everybody glued to. He died from pancreatic cancer, early age. He said something. There was somebody I used to follow a lot of people, that somebody I used to follow a lot. During his dying day, he wore pampers. He couldn't even live, for example, this tea whatsoever to drink in the cooling. He wore pampers during his dying days. You have money was not problem. Money was not problem for him. He died for pancreatic cancer. They asked him one question during his dying days. He said, life is not short, a boy about to die, but I waited before I discovered this sickness in me. And it was led for the great Steve Jobs. A lot of great people died while the sickness spread in them. So I caution all followers here, Liberians are listening on the Palaver Hall. It's nothing. Every 6 to 7 months, go to your doctor. Doctor keeps secret. They would check you. I'm talking about serious doctor. I'm not talking about the kekele doctor. Then pay your lay money. They will take your blood carry to the laboratory. Because health is life. Because with all health, a society can never be a viable society. Facts. Now, when you see the Western world, they put healthcare system, they put healthcare first. I will boast on this one year. In reality, the European healthcare system is better than the American healthcare system. That one of the greatest things we can boast on in Europe here than those in America. We know it. We know a lot of Americans can come over here for affordable healthcare system because our system they make the system here very unique. So the people put healthcare number one before development. If you say, how can you bear road? If you say, how can you construct? If you say, how can you go to work? So health is number one. So I urge everybody under the Palaver Hut, life is not short. It's a false narrative. You erase that narrative. Life is not short. So yeah, my brother Frank is here. Life is not short. So I'm pushing you people right now. You should take your health personal. Because you know what bad for me about this health here? What bad for me? I saw a picture concerning Ellen Johnson Sally and Joseph Yiman Buaka today. They say having breakfast before the inauguration, before my brother said come in. You see, Ellie, 86 years old. You ask question, why Ellie living long? Not because she have money, no. Not because she was ex-president. Ex-president cannot determine you live long. Every year, 9 months, Ellie come to the Western world here to do checkup, to do serious checkup. Top billionaire, they do checkup. Poor people do checkup. The problem with our society, like when people can say left is short, it's a lie. Left is normal. Look at Chicken, 86 years old. Baka 81, going to 82. Imagine he have the pacemaker because of taking to places and other places, health going on. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, I just give you some scenario. So the health that we fight for is the number one key. It's bigger than the richest. Nobody can buy health. So you got to secure yourself. You got to go to your doctor every 6 to 7 months. You check yourself. Any sickness, the doctor will diagnose you and put you on the medication. So my brothers in our here, so followers, I just try to give you the tip of there before we start our topic. Yeah, so Prince, you can take it over, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. My brother Frank, welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, Prince. Thank you, Wilmot. And thank you, everyone. Thank you to the followers.
Well, again, fellow Liberians, we are here. I'm very sorry for the in and out. As I speak to you, I'm babysitting. Let me just tell you. So it's not really easy. It's not easy. So bear with us. These are some of the things that we go through in order to bring you what we are supposed to bring you. But we are grateful that we have this opportunity to share with you our knowledge. And it's something that
Prince, you're a single father?
well, I'm babysitting. Yeah, he's you let ask all kind of question. Yeah, but we are grateful. We are grateful that we are here, and we want to say thanks to each and every one of you who continue to support what we do. We really, really appreciate you, because without you, we'll not be here. And I just want to weigh in for like 30 seconds with what my brother rightly said before we can go into what we are going into. It's very important, the issue that you have raised. Especially in our Liberian community, this is something that is very prevalent among us. I don't know, for some reason, we are not people who, I mean, majority of us, we are not people who really like the hospital or love the hospital.
Yes.
I don't know if it is because of, our economic situation,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe the system that we find ourselves in. We don't have those medical facility that we cater to citizens, or we don't have like a defined policy where people, from the very onset, once you are working, you are entitled to health benefits, etc., etc. I don't know, but there are so many reasons, but these are things that are very, very serious, that we as Liberians need to take serious. And especially those of us in the diaspora, we need to really take it serious.
Mm-hmm.
Visit your doctor, because here in this United States, as you work, they take money from your salary for
Yeah.
these, how you call, medical benefits. Don't sit there. Every month, go to the doctor, see what is happening, because like you rightly said, and it's a lot of education, because sickness does not just come and damage the system. It starts small, small. It,
Yes.
it, it, it will prey on other things in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Before the immune system can be broken down, it will depend on something that is already there that is breaking down the system. Sometimes you ask, oh, but headache, just tell them, they may just complain, say, hey, what headache you? They will go
Yeah.
flow now, and the man gone. No,
Yeah.
something was under that headache that was
Thank
already
you.
damaging the immune system. Maybe there was some kind of sickness that were under there, damaging the immune system, so that at the end of the day, as soon as the headache came, the
Yeah.
system was already broken down, the immune system was already down, the headache just
Yes.
carrying him right away, bam. So people who don't know say, oh, that malaria, that just one malaria. But in the same man where in the player, the man had a headache, the man heal. How can the other man here now he get a same headache, he carry him? It's
Mm.
because something was in the system that was
Yes.
already damaging the immune system. So when the
That's a
headache
fact.
came, it just went straight. So I want to appeal to you, my people. It's very serious. Check your doctors. Go
Mm-hmm.
there, your primary doctor, see what is going on. Even if you are feeling very normal, if you are okay, I mean very normal, go stay to your doctor. Make it a usual. Go there. Let it after every 7 months, after whatever month, go there.
Yes.
Also watch what you eat, especially my people in this Western world. Let's watch what we eat. It's not easy. Let's watch what we eat, because most of the thing that we eat here, sugar, fats, sugar, fats. sugar, fats. You got to sometimes take it easy. Sometimes you see somebody sit down with finish whole bottle of soda. Yeah, man, all right. You got to check yourself. You got to check yourself and take time, minimize the sugar, minimize, the level of grease you put in the body,
And
you
preach,
know.
even the alcohol, it be over the age
Yeah,
of 40 years, so you got to minimize your alcohol.
definitely. You got to minimize it. But my brother Frank, let's hear from you on this before we enter into what we are entering into.
I mean, what you guys, just said, it is the truth. You know, the body have, you know, white blood cells and other cells in them. I think the scientists say white blood cell is young, to fight disease. So if you got certain illness or whatsoever common thing, it's not just going to take you right away because you already have something
Mm-hmm.
naturally built within you that is fighting this disease. But equally so, you also need another helper, that is science, medication, to also go and help neutralize whatsoever that is in there, to help the white blood cells to fight certain illness. And sometimes, like you said, right, you hear say this person just had headache or just had malaria or just had fever or their body just got hot or the temperature just got hot, and out of a sudden they rush the person to the hospital and the person pass or the person die because of common like headache or something or malaria or whatsoever. The truth is it was not the malaria that killed that person, right? It was not the common headache that killed that person. It was actually the underlying factors that killed that person, but that person was unable to go to the hospital to check whatsoever the thing, and it been there for so long. So the moment you get some kind of a little cold, that's going to infuse, the whole system, your whole immune system to what it calls the white blood cell no longer have that power to fight because it have been defeated. So again, it is right that we always, check the doctor if you feeling fine. But sometimes just check your primary care doctor because that is what you're paying for. Just check there and let it just check you, see you, because these doctors, that's why they are doctor, right? They are professional. They see you sometimes, they know exactly something wrong with you, you know, maybe the way you talk, your appearance and things, they will know there's something wrong and send you for power checker and those things. So it is important that we always go to the doctors to always check, and that's why we primary care doctors and all of those things. It's right.
Sure, definitely. You are 100% right. And thank you so much for adding your take, to this particular issue. We want to look at the very first issue that has to do with a communication that was sent by the court to the Cla Mariwea Hope Foundation
Mm,
that they should present all documents from the access recovery team. The access recovery team sent a communication
mhm,
asking that, uh, the institution Cla Mariwea Hope Foundation
mm,
turn all of the documents
mm,
as it relates to their institution,
mhm.
funding, etc., etc., turn everything over to the court. I want to hear from you, my brother Frank. What is your own take on this particular situation where the court write and asks that the Hope Foundation turn over whatever document to the court? Let's hear from you. What do you make of this?
First of all, thank you so much for bringing this topic up, because when I saw it myself, I felt disappointed in the justice system of Liberia, especially under this president, under Bucket administration. I don't call him president anyway, but under Bucket administration. Um, it sent a signal, right? Not just to Liberian, but to the world. Because if people think that, it is only Liberian that is paying attention to Liberia, that's like, especially, right? Especially the person to whom that they are going after right now. the war is actually watching this person, and they are watching what this person is doing in Liberia to transform the life of Liberian citizens, Liberian kids, future leaders, because no one have ever done it in Liberia. No first lady have ever done it in the Republic of Liberia since 1822, or we can say since 1847. This is the very first lady ever, all right, to do such an achievement in Liberia for Liberian, not for any other nationality. Now, the truth here is the court or the government, right, they are playing a tactics to which they have no idea of. Now, what am I saying this for? These guys have no evidence, because if you can remember, Brother Prince, and to the viewer or the followers, every case these people have undertaken with the assets recovery team, they have never went in it, and they have never come out with any evidence, right? So what they are trying to do here now is they are trying to pass through the corrupt court, to go to the court, tell the court to ask the foundation to turn over every document. Because in their mind, if they come from the court, then that means you have to follow the court order, because it is a court order. It is a rule of law. Now, that's not how it works in this case, and it's never going to work in this case. If the court, now let's go to the court, because they said the order came from the court, right? If the court fee, they have every evidence against this lady, or if the government fee, they have every evidence against this foundation or against this lady that she used state resources to build this foundation, it's very easy. Carry her to court. Instead of you asking for document to turn over document, carry her to court, and then while in court, you present your document, your funding, that it was a state resources that she used, because if it is a state resources, they are the government in power, which is very good. They have access to all the bank's notes, all bank statement, where the funding came from the state bank whatsoever. They have access to everything. So there is no need telling this lady to turn over the document, every document, as to where the funds came from. They already know where the funds came from, because they are government in power. If the fund came from the state or banks whatsoever, strictly to her and Samba, whosoever finance minister and things, it's very easy. They have it. All they need to do is take your evidence to the court and tell the court, these are the evidence that it was state resources, and that the lady, now you take her to court, she will now bring her lawyer and they bring the evidence. But this is what I want to say. These people have no evidence. What they want to do here is they want this lady to take the document and then send it to them. And it's not going to work that way. It don't work that way. Now, this is what Clara Maria will do. Do not ever take any document to these people. If they have any issue against you, let them take it to court. Then while in court, let them present their document to say the money you use, it was a state resource, or it was state resources that came from the state, that came from this bank, some by finance minister, from by former President George Manuel Weah, and you use it to build your foundation. Let them bring the evidence. Then now, you can now, with your lawyer, with your team, bring your evidence as to where the funds came from. But you don't go to the court and tell somebody, say, bring all necessary document. What am I bringing document for? What am I bringing document for? To prove what? I have nothing to prove to you as to where the funds came from until you take me to court and then bring out your evidence against me. But these people have no evidence against this lady. So that is what they are doing witch hunt. Now, if the first lady, the current first lady, Mistress Burkite, want a foundation, it is very easy. You, the first lady, you have access. Because when you were there for the past 12 years, you didn't do it. Now, God bless you. Somehow, some other way, you got there. If you want a foundation, Why can't you go and build your own foundation and then let it be for the Liberian people? Because the foundation that is there, built by Clarence Mawuwia, Liberians are benefiting from it. Why are you angry? Seeing Liberian kids, Liberian children, these are not American kids, these are not Jamaican kids that are benefiting from it. See, they not come to America and then take American kids and take them to Liberia, or went to Jamaica, take Jamaica children and then took them to Liberia for them to benefit from this foundation. These are Liberian children that are benefiting. Why are you so envious and evil carrying on these kind of things? You know, brother Prince, people are learning, right? My point here is we should not even buy into it. Clarence Mawuwia will not carry and should not carry any evidence to the court. If the government fee or if the court fee that it was state resources that was used, let them take her to court and then bring their evidence, and then she can bring her evidence to them. They can meet with them. At that point, she can provide document. But she has no right to turn over document to the court for what reason? What is a justification? Nothing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My brother Jake, let's hear from you on this issue of.
Yeah, for me, it's a political wish hunt. Seriously. But let me dive to different direction. You see, the Unity Party, the arrest agenda is not about arresting officials of government. That main target was George Weah. The arrest agenda. That arrest to confiscate property. But let me remind followers here. 2018. You know, Liberian people need to read the Liberian Constitution. That's why I'll be debunking most of that lies and things there. You can remember vividly those, even friend, you can remember when George Weah took their mantle authority. You remember everybody in the corridor of Liberia were talking, George Weah must take Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to justice. You remember that? You remember for corruption, for other things. Let me tell you, let me bust the Liberian people bubbles here. You see, while I arrested Jenna for a flat, I destroyed that narrative and the Jamaican result. A lot of Liberians never knew. According to our constitution, the recent 1986, whatsoever constitution, there is no provision in that constitution telling you to take former leader to court. I don't know who had those are the framework of that constitution, the new framework of the new constitution. I don't know they were there to protect the president or Samuel Doe, other people at that time. There is no clause in our constitution saying you can take the former leader to court. Never for any corruption case or whatsoever until he leaves power. So when I went on the Jamaican resort, I told the president, I said, you cannot take Ellen to court. Nothing in the clause of the constitution. Everybody was looking at me and I fasted. When they saw it as any constitutional lawyer in the Republic of Liberia, you can never take a former president to court in our country until they made new law, not the American court system or European court system where they can take. I don't know why they put it in our clause of our constitution, but if you look at the Unity Party playbook, I want that coming to power. Our main target was George Weah, but they got to know now. They saw constitutional lawyers say, but so in the constitution, I see why George Weah never took Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to court. So we cannot take George Weah to court. So all the surrogate around the president, those officials of the government, they say, but we can go after them. We can go after that property and other things and how they acquire this money. So that while you can see that President Saga is not into that hair anymore because George Weah never took Ellen to court and not in our constitution. Even Baga leave from power. Even Baga leave from power, that $4 million mansion you cannot take into court according to our constitution and the reality there. So that how the game, so they say, okay, let's go for these people. Let's go to the surrogate of these people. So that how now, because they cannot catch the president, finally, things are in the water. They talk about Samuel D12. Samuel D12 in the frame of the law. The money they're talking about concerning Samuel D12, the national security. They mean you dive in different form now. You own that committee on national security. Because especially our security, the NSA whatsoever. That debate for another day. So what they're doing now, they say, okay, the Constitution don't give us no reference to attack the president, the former president. So let's go to the president, let's go to the first lady. So that how they doing their vision. But for me, I will not dive into it too much because the lawyer they will handle it. She's a very sound woman. Everybody knows she was a banker whatsoever. She's a banker, everything. She know these things, she know about numbers, she know about the things. So we'll see, we'll wait and see. But for me, it's a distraction. You might be carried away with all these things here. All these things are distraction. They're going to February now. Rainy season will soon be coming again. They get nothing to say. They get nothing to push on the Liberian people. Things getting tough on them. Anywhere they travel, things not happening for them. So for me, it's a distraction. We just leave it at that. But when there is a catch, Prince. There is a catch. If you know what, when I wish one, nobody. I told you, I said everybody gets on into laws in the Republic of Liberia now. The land is June. They pay him massive. If a fellow up to CDC were paying property, all the workers, all the Jefferson coaching, all the garden they used to call, it's a joke. Go see this garden project. Go, even our brother that came from the other side, that came from our side and went to them. Go see Eugene Facom mansion in a ticket of the EBS boss with no salary, with no hard salary, then looking man in Liberia, man. Go see Emo Tweden mansion, the crowd there, cooler for fun and then the ability that I can be working with all of them parading with the yellow machine, the Emo Twed, the more you know why I like this? Print. If the people, everybody gets something to lose now. I told you people, the people came to power too jealous because they couldn't wait another 6 good years. Because the 6 they were long. The first 6 they were long, and Joe and to come back to 6 years, they will be dragging, killing themselves. But I let how were divided. 6 years CDC gave power to them, they give another 6 years. So the 2029, and I'll tell people here, they will say, Jay been pushing it here. They either break Liberia or a male Liberia. Because you know why? They will not venture. Everybody gets something to lose. Everybody will go by in exile. The poor people will get richer. We saw the Liberian Civil War, something that similar thing that will happen if they believe they will put the country in. Because if you look at the part of the country, if you look at the whole scenario of the country, if you take on your political hat, if you're a patriot that pledge allegiance to the country, you see a dark cloud covering the country again for another heaven something that will happen in the country coming to 2028 or 2029. So they get something to lose. Other people get something to lose. So what they will do, they will come to that peace table. And you're talking about peace now. You're talking about the breakfast, or you can be addressing the talking about unification because they get something to lose to. CDC gets something to lose to. They are the crossroad now. They get more to lose. They in power. The peace lies in the hand. And think what the president made that phrase, fire for fire. If he's not waiting for them to do that, the man how they can get, or watch and see the card the game will be played by 2027 to 2028. So I don't want to go deep into it, but for me, it's a political vision. And thank God that the former president, was the targeting. So we'll see how the game will be played.
Thank you so much, fellow Liberians. You know, I always like to start from the historical context of where we are today. The only thing that make you and myself to be equal in Liberia, whether you are a minister, a director, a sweeper, or just a common man on the street, the only thing that make you and myself to be equal is the law. Because the law does not take into consideration your height, your status, your riches. What the law takes into consideration is the facts, the evidence that is brought before it. That's why it takes into consideration. Every other thing is by the way. But we observed something when Joseph Numa Boyka became president of Liberia. The first thing that Boyka did was to ensure that he has absolute control over the judiciary branch. We saw a serious muzzling. We saw Boyka trying to muzzle the judiciary branch to ensure that everybody answer yes, sir, to him. We saw that. How? Somebody will say, what are you saying here, Prince? When Mr. Boyka took over, he first of all started to illegally remove people that had tenure position. When they ran to the court, on 2 different occasions, the court told Mr. Boyka, you have to halt your action. Under the leadership of Madam Siane Yor, who was the justice minister at the time, Boyka was very uncomfortable. In his mind, he felt that, who is Madam Yor to tell me to stop? And we saw that when she was going to her period, because she was about the time of leaving office, we saw what happened. Boyka refused to go to that woman retirement ceremony. Imagine somebody who served the country in the judiciary, and there are 3 branches of government: the executive, judiciary, and legislative branch. Somebody who served the country. Boyka refused to attend that woman ceremony. He refused. Because in his mind, Siane Yor had no right to order that his action was unconstitutional by removing these people from the LTA and other people that he removed. He said, no, your action is unconstitutional. So what Boyka did, after disrespecting the court, he appointed these people and suspended those officials from the LTA. He suspended them. You know, it is dangerous when a government is trying to use the judiciary system to muscle the opposition. And that's what we are seeing. And this is not the first time it happened. These people have always used the court to suppress the CDC as a political institution. I don't want you to believe. I want to display something here for you. I want to take you back a bit so that you can see what we are talking about. When you look at this was in 2017. Liberia's presidential vote halted by the Supreme Court. In 2017, it was very, very clear that the CDC won. It was very clear that the CDC won. The Unity Party, at the time, Joseph Numa Boyka, and the late Charles Walker Bronskin, they were represented by, you call, or Vani Sherman and the rest of the other guys. They took the result to court. They took neck to court and said the election was fraudulent. There were malpractices in the election. President Weah did not win. They should cancel it. It should not be blah, 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 and stuff like that. November 2017. I want to show you and I want to give you history that you will see that the Unity Party has always used this medium to think that they can suppress other people. But thank God that there are still good people in the system. There are people who are still good in the system. They may have their will in some 1 or 2 areas, but there are good people in the system, in the judiciary branch. And these good people will not sit and allow Mr. Boyka to just have his will as if he is the supreme being in Liberia. He is not. There are 3 branches of government. So it happened. And at the end of the day, when they took that issue to the court did not see any weight. To the extent that the Unity Party and the High Court, the Liberty Party, when they took the CDC to court, they were even asking that the that NEC should provide information. And NEC said no. You will take me to court that you're supposed to bring the proof. You cannot take me to court and ask me, say, I'm going to bring all of my evidence. No, that you the one carry me to court. If you think that I did something that is illegal, you must show it. You must prove it. So the Unity Party, look, this is just history repeating itself. And that's why sometimes we like to remind people. The lawyers for the Unity Party or for the opposition at the time, they demand that they were cheating here, they were cheating there, so next should bring document. Next say no, I can bring document. You carry me to court. If you claim that this place there were fraudulent, activities there, you prove where that particular fraudulent activity was done. According to our law, it says that you are presumed innocent until proven guilty. You will carry somebody to court, the burden of proof is on your shoulder. That you the one supposed to prove that they may yes stole or they may he did not. That you the one. And it's not the other way around. Now, these things are scaring in our country. When you see these kind of things happening, then it means that there is a dictatorial tendency in the making that want to take over our system. And we resist it with everything that in us because we know how we got here. We know the amount of life that we lost in order to get here. Under no condition and circumstance when you tell somebody that, oh yeah, you're wrong, but go bring the evidence. The assets recovery, as far as we are concerned, has not taken Clear Hope to court, as far as we are concerned. If you are taking an institution to court, the responsibility and the weight is upon you to be able to prove that the people stole money. It's just comical. It looks stupid for you to tell somebody, say, you stole, but bring the evidence so I can carry you to court. Let's even agree, even if such a thing was happening, who does that? Who does that? Now, for even the lawyer who sat, or the clerk who the lawyer who sat down in the court and allowed this particular document to come out, it is dangerous. It is very dangerous. This is to tell you that there are individuals in the judiciary system that Brecker will want to use, like he is doing with this issue of the arson case. Like he is doing with the arson case. So there are people in the judiciary system that Brecker is using to destroy our country. And we need to be very careful. Our Liberian law is not the other way around. According to what I heard in other countries, it is you are guilty and you got to go prove yourself innocent, according to their law. In some other countries around us, our neighboring countries, they say once you are accused, it means you are guilty. You got to go to the court to say, no, I'm not guilty. That you got to bring whatever thing to show that you are not guilty. But that is not in our own law in Liberia. So to see these kind of things happening is scaring. It's scaring. Where the court, where lawyer, where get sense, we're supposed to be clever enough and supposed to know that you can't get yourself involved into political matter. The issue are now being politicized. Because if you will forget about every other thing and say, let the people bring their document. Bring document for what? Are you taking them to court? You're supposed to carry document and say, look, these are the documents that we have, that this particular property or that this property, they got this property through this fraudulent means or through this means or through that means. You don't get it. But you go to use the court because you get people in the court who are willing and ready to compromise their integrity. Then they read about people and send it. But I want to say kudos to the legal team of the foundation for their response. And I want to say thanks to that. We must protect this democracy of ours because the way it is proceeding, it is scary. We saw it with the case, the Fanatic Kofa case. Joseph Numa Boyka proved that he do not want to respect the court. That he has people in the court that he can turn their hands and they can do whatever they want to do. We saw it in the case. When the court released their findings or their opinion on the issue, the Justice Minister for Joseph Numa Boyka Oxford Tue, he wrote his own communication interpreting the Supreme Court. After the Supreme Court said, the way you're proceeding is not correct, Oxford 12 went and said, that's the correct way you're proceeding, according to the court. The court has to come and say, no. You misinterpret our opinion. This opinion that you are putting out is not what we said. It's completely different. But did Boyka listen? No. He moved on. My people, this thing that we are playing fun with, Boyka is beating the war drum. And it is about time that people who love that country, people who love Boyka, and whoever that is associated with Boyka should begin to now tell Boyka that, hey, Boyka, you need to be careful. Our Prince Sheriff and any other person will not sit down for somebody to tell my family, go sit down in Aguata. It will not happen. Our Prince Sheriff will not sit down for somebody to say, let's go on peace table and go share government. It will not work. It will not work. Some of us, we lost family members. Some of us are fatherless, motherless. Children we lost, etc., etc., because of the foolish civil war. Because people could not respect the rule of law. They decided that they would take law in their own hands. They were pushed to the wall to do what they did. And today, this is what Boyka is doing. This is what Boyka is doing. Look, play with a man eyes. Play with every part of him. But you know what you should not play with? With his family. And that's where Boyka is going. Boyka will not stop at anything to ensure that the CDC is destroyed. Everything that has President William's name attached to it, he will go after it. This is what Boyka is doing. Boyka sat down in Liberia for the past 12 years when he served as vice president. This man could not even put one stake in the ground for anybody. His wife controlled the group of 77. They could not even build one good bathroom for the people, the group of 77. A woman who became the first lady used her connections to go out there to scout for funding to build such a massive facility in that country. Shouldn't we be proud as Liberians? You know, Clan Marie Weah has raised the bar for development like her husband did. Look, the Weah family has raised the bar so high for development to the extent that even former leaders, they are now guilty of how they treated the Liberian people. Some of these people stayed there for 12 years, 27 years, and etc. What did they leave behind? A man who came and had 4 years. Yes, I said 4 years. I said 6. I said 4 years. Look at the massive development that he was able to carry on. Madam Clan Marie Weah was not jumping from one place, not cleaning work she was opening or going to go spray, how you call bed sheet over some on a bed and say she donating or she is cutting ribbon for it. She put a project that will last for the next 100 years in Liberia. The Liberians will benefit. The money that she used has no stain on it. She did not steal from the Liberian people. She used her influence. She used her own connection to get that money and to build what she built. It is a disgrace to Katumu Boyka that your husband served 12 years. You take care of the group of 77. What did you do for the group of 77? There's a woman who the people, my brother, you know, as soon as people talk about what first they went for in the car. Imagine how low these people are. How low the Boyka family, just imagine how low they are. The first thing they start with Clan Marie Weah was her car. Katumu Boyka say, told her husband Joseph Boyka say, I want a car. Give me the car. That the car I want. He went to Madam Clan Marie Weah. Oh, get a car. I said, no, but this car is not your vehicle. Everything that we had, we are turning over. This is my vehicle. It's my money that bought it. Look at how petty these people are. You know, Liberia is heading in the wrong direction because you have a vindictive old man serving as president that his face alone is enough to cause chaos. Look, Joseph Numa Boyka is not after the unity of that country. He does not respect the thing they call unification. No. That is not Joseph Numa Boyka operation. He cares about himself. He is jealous. He is vindictive. The thing that he could not do in 12 years, that President Weah did it in 4 years. The thing that he could not even accomplish in 2 years of his regime, that President Weah did it in 6 months. This man is angry. And fellow Liberian, they are not coming after Madam Claire Marie Weah alone. They are coming after you, the common people. That you, they're coming after. Because when you go in that place, there are common people cheering there. People who normally cannot even afford to send their children there. These are the children that are there, free of charge. If Madam Katumu Bweka is reasonable enough, you know what she will start doing? Is let me use my influence too. As First Lady of the Republic, let me travel out. But what the woman know about? When her husband left the vice presidency, guess what? She was selling color. No, it's not me. I am telling you, that's what she was selling to a place there. Joseph Newman Boyka was using a horse to park a horse that was car parking garage. He used to sit on in front of the door. When car come in, then they say, oh, you got to pay $50, $100. And he take the money, he read the car, lesson plate down, the driver need, then they go park the car. While Katumu Boyka in the money, she will face color. These people don't believe in development. They are very vindictive. Very vindictive. But what we are saying to you, Boyka, you are reaching to the level where somebody will say, you are reaching your Waterloo. You are reaching your Waterloo. If you think that you can use the judiciary system, the justice system, to go after the CDC, you did it on so many occasions. We saw what you did. When the CDC party headquarters, the case was still in court, you bypass and use another method to go and break our headquarters down. Now you are going after this. Continue. The world is watching you. And at the end of the day, you will account for your action. Like Jake rightly said, it is good that everybody, one way or the other, they are building property. Everybody now get property in Liberia. Whether be a former government minister or current, one way or the other, you get property. So you continue. You go ahead. You just go ahead. Make that country to become toxic. At the end of the day, you will know who Bondo. My brother, let's just give you 30 seconds, my brother Frank, so that you can conclude for us to go to the next issue.
Yeah, and just to conclude with this topic, right? You see, Barker is also trying to, exercise or show power, right? In different manners. What we're trying to see here is, in other ways as well, Barker is trying to tell Ellen Johnson to leave. This president said that you did not support me. You left the party and then went and supported CDC, and CDC became president. And the truth is, we want to let Barker know. CDC or President Weah did not become president because Ellen Johnson did not support you. Regardless of what, President George Manuel Weah was still going to win you for that election. But he's also doing this to try to tell Ellen Johnson, you see, I get a power now, I can do anything. That's why you see him doing all of those things in the country. And he's doing this, right, to tell President Weah, I got a power too now. And, I can do anything. I'm sitting here now. I'm the chief in command. I can do whatsoever that I want to do. I do not have time for rule of law or democracy. This is what Barker is doing to that country. But to Liberian, the Clara Maria Foundation, this is not about her, or this is not about her husband or her children. This is about you, your children future. Because at the end of the day, it is not her children that are going there or that are benefiting from it. It is your children. It is the Liberian children that are benefiting from it. So if Barker is doing this, Barker is doing it against you, against your children, against the Liberian. So it is about time that we all stand up to Barker and tell Barker to back up, because this is not what he was elected for. And this is not what you people voted him for. It is time that you guys come out to put Boyka in his place. Because Boyka is going against your children's future. Boyka does not want your children to become president for that country too. He does not want your children to become senators, representatives, lawmakers for that country. Because the former first lady is trying her best to do that for your children to have future. But Boyka is destroying the future of your children. And that is why he came there. He told, look, it baffled me. Let me bring this out. Do you think a President George Manewia was in power? Look at the little boy that was on the street, Brother Prince, asking, begging for YFE. That his parents do not have it. He's on the street begging for people to come and pay his YFE. And then to the extent before people came and donated or helped to pay his YFE. Why should that be? Why should that be an avenue that President George Manewia provided? But you, Liberian, you guys are the cause too, because you people were there saying that YFE we can pay, we will pay our YFE. And today, your children are on the street begging for YFE. President, Boyka came, what am I calling him president? Boyka came and took that privilege from you and said, to hell with you people, nobody will pay YFE and nobody will pay tuition fees here. Boyka do that to you people. It is about time that you stand up, because Boyka is fighting against your future, your success for your children.
Thank you, my brother Frank. Thank you. Jake?
Yeah, let me just elaborate small, but it's something very important for my part of 2 months, let's say seconds. Let me tell the followers here. You remember the first lady, our Madam Boyka? You know who should have visited frequently? Should have visited Fatima Bio, Mother Bio wife. Who see the massive property that woman undertaking as a first lady in our country. Then Dumuya on our wife. Go see the massive. The only first lady, they give the changing, but only thing, because you don't have the connection. You don't. These people that old people, they don't have the strength to move. That reality. These are not mover and shaker. So Boyka don't have the strength, neither the first lady. So it's hard for them to make that connection. When I'm telling you every day, you're not joking. So it's not visit, but you see, but they don't have money to print. Let me say to the followers here. They will say, yeah, they will always remember my video then. The more fasting and seatbelt with Republic of Liberia, the 2026 going forward. Praise, I follow the whole World Economic Forum in Davos here, Switzerland. When Donald Trump came, you know that where all the whole world think they reach all the world, they gotta control the world global economy. Trump destroyed them, they few days, buried them. Let me tell you something here today. The followers here, Liberian, you have to fasten your seatbelt. In the United Party here, we need. Nobody giving money anymore. Let me tell you something about what Europe here. You are one of the dumbest, it's so dumb. The whole liberal. When I can be surprised, you can be supporting Democrat and can be crying for you that all of them are liberal. Let me tell you something. The whole war that happened in Europe here, they were howling about they leak everything outside. It was a plain war, the Russian and Ukraine. The people say almost trillions of dollars on this particular war. America spent almost $400 billion. Joe Biden and Tan, that the amount of money they were infusing in the war here that we were looking at here, just like a joke. Then the European Union spent $100 billion, almost they equal with America, but they spent over about $200 billion. You think that chicken change? I think about. So what happened in the Davos now? Euro cannot get nobody money. Euro getting praise. I live in the Western world, it's scary yet now. Euro getting broke. all the European, the Macron, all the chancellor, they all in Germany, all of them they blundered this war here. They spend the taxpayer money there crazy. What you will get? Bally bag, so dead. That narrative you hear from CNN and la. There's nothing they call Ukraine. Russia demolished the whole Ukraine. I said Ukraine are that demolished land. They don't even have main power to fight. I told now the whole world depending on to start that episode. A crumbling the whole economy of Europe. They say almost $700 billion total for the whole episode. So there is a catch. How the European will help other nations? Now America won't build. I think China won't build your defense shield to cover your whole country because of the threat from Russia, all these places, number billions of dollars and that. Then America in $30 trillion in debt. When you see America sapping the USA, all this area, please, like, bro, we own our own. We own our own. Like when I'm telling Liberians here, all that mob the United Party were making, please, that was nothing coming. Nobody releasing money. I'm not talking about the ham. I'm not talking about the Gaza war. I'm not talking about the ham. The whole war in the turmoil. I'm not talking about the war at the fort. They kind of start to rebuild Gaza. They spend all the Arab body coming put money together to spend billions of billions. I'm not talking about in Syria also. Syria demolished. So, friend, Liberia of fasting a seat belt. There was one day they will say, yeah, one guy used to be on social media, he always used to preach. Me, I always talk about the money. Where we can find money from, what we can do this, how we can acquire money. Trade. Our natural resources not breaking nothing. I'm afraid our natural resources not breaking nothing. Liberians should pass in that seatbelt. And the biggest thing we should pray for, it only arising. China planning to attack Taiwan. If China attack Taiwan, we finish. The world global supply chain Asia will be broken. How the shape then will move? How the shape will come? Because we are import based. How we bring our staple food to Liberia? When I whole Saudi fighting war, it means the whole global supply chain will be broken. But what happened during the corona? I can give you some scenario. Corona came from China. See how the whole world locked down. Everybody confused because we never had all these things there. The whole world suffer. America suffer. All the world suffer. So the whole global supply chain was something happening between China and Russia. Because China, according to real facts, China not in favor how they told Maduro because they were alarming with Maduro, all these things. You know that different group of people challenging a different establishment. So China they won't take on Taiwan. Probably anytime they say anything can happen. Anything can happen. So I wonder of my country, we're the import-based country. We import for every goods and services in the Republic of Liberia. Please, friend, this country, Liberia, will be high more than before. United Party like they sweep anything on the raw. They need to be vigilant. They need to get smart people that can come outside to lobby and find money. Naturally, Euro getting broke. Then when Euro getting broke, it's reality. How can they hand out to us? And then Trump Nepal policy is about America to put America first and their citizens first. So how it will be a tough time. So and I'm telling Liberian, even we that will be sending remittances in the Republic of Liberia, the remittances got to drop. It will drop, and remittances already dropping. We suspected $150 million in the Liberian economy every year. And preachers, I saw the statistics, it dropped down massively. Money not even infusing into the country anymore. Everybody had left the country. The December had left the country. When the December they went, money was infusing. Everybody not come back. The majority of the people don't come back from the country already. Even the country will not pack this particular year because money, farmers to get farmers to grab to farmers. The common saving in Europe, I don't know about your American saving. Not enough people get even 5,000 to that naming saving yet. That I went for over 10 years. I don't know how you're looking. Imagine the power America and US get the powerful Somebody can put to $5,000 to $10,000 in a saving because you got to pay all your utilities and all these things. And you got to take. So it will. If it's tough, if in Europe is tough, in America it will be tough. Forget what will happen to the continent. What will happen to that? Not only Liberia, I think, but the whole African continent will $1.7 billion. But I like to go to my country. Liberation fasten a seat belt. Seriously fasten a seatbelt. I don't see how the United Party will find billions of dollars. How they will find all these things to come to the country. So, Prince, I just want we can change course down, but
Yeah,
I just like to
definitely.
put it outside there.
You are right. I think you've brought up a very sensitive something that we can also include in our discussion. And you are right, 100%. Because right now, what is happening globally, every country the world over, they are talking about how they can be able to build their own economy.
Mm-hmm.
They are not giving out like it used to be. Not only the United States. It's just that America, for her, she's very bold to come up and say, look, we are not doing no usage. We're giving you nothing
Yeah.
for free. You get up, we get you. You not get up, we not get you. That business we're doing here. But it is unfortunate because in the midst of all of these difficult times, like you enumerated, our own Liberia, we are not even helping ourselves. We are talking about creating extra seats. And where money coming from? 14 other seats we're about to add
Hmm.
to the already seats that we are having. These people, they will be having their entitlement. So money is not coming from us. Most of our budget, in fact, about 65% of our budget was dependent on international support.
Yes.
International support. And these supports are not going to come because you have a president that is proceeding wrongly. You have a president that has absolutely no connection. Nobody knows him. The man is a total stranger in the global economy. That is the thing. Let's agree. Yes, that's true. Those big countries that can give money, they are now holding their money because even in their own nation, there are terrible times. The fact of the matter is that, like you rightly said, the way people used to remit to Liberia, especially in the US, let's just talk about the US because
Yeah, the
we
US
have
the
more
highest.
Liberians here, the
Yeah.
highest. The way people used to remit back home, my people, just do this your own self analysis.
Yeah.
Some of you on this platform, some few years ago, when you say you're sending money down for family, some of that $2,000 you sending down so they can get to the other family member, get to the other family. Some of
Mm-hmm.
you, few years back, some of you, some 6, 7, 8 years back, or some 5 years back, when you say you're sending money for family Christmas, everybody, including say your grandpa, girlfriend, children, all you will send money for them.
But even
What
though
sort
better
of
own
money you will
property,
send?
the property needs to go fast. But now it's
Definitely.
slow.
It used to go fast. Now, look at Liberia. How many people, look, I've been seeing some things of recent. Do you know that people are selling properties in Liberia?
Yes.
You
Yes.
never used to see that thing. It used to be very difficult. I mean, you will see some houses, people will build it. I mean, just uncompleted, maybe just to put few things on it. You see
Exactly.
people making
Yes.
advertisement and they are selling it. You see people selling their property. Look, economically, the war is becoming tough and
Yeah.
difficult. But
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, our government is doing nothing to be able to help our own people. They are making life even more difficult by increasing taxes and not
Yeah.
even creating jobs, by giving money to more people. Look at what is happening. Every day you go on Executive Mansion website, that appointment of people. They are
Yeah.
appointing different people, and these people are being paid. The government is doing nothing to be able to help the ordinary people. Things are going up. They are not feeling the weight, but you are feeling it. They are putting the taxes on you while you are paying them huge amount of money. This is evil. This is devilish. This is the most insane move by any government. What a government will do in difficult times, they will try to see how best they can absorb the shock. We saw President we are doing that. When the issue hit the global stage, where global warming, affected the agriculture system, and there were drought all over the place and food shortage, what did President we are do? He called these rice importers and said, you know what happened? The government will be able to give you a
To
second
subsidize,
assistance
yes.
to
Mhm.
subsidize you so you
Yes.
can bring the price down. We saw a serious approach by a government. When the world was in a difficult times, that was when President Weah gave us a tuition free at the university or state-run university. When the war was at its most terrible moment, that was when President Weah was paying our children wise fees and was giving them recess. When the war was at its most difficult stage, that was when we saw President Weah building hospitals and building parks around here. But look at Joseph Numa Boyka. 2 years, in fact, 3, you're going to 4 years because we're already in a 10 year. That 4 year you're going to, so we can't count 3 years now. We're counting 4 years. You're already in your 10 year. Whether be 1 day or 2 days in your 10 year, you are aiming at your 4 years. So Joseph Numa Boyka is going to his 4 years. The thing is, what has Joseph Numa Boyka bring to the table internationally? Who is he rubbing shoulder with? Who is he talking to? My brother Frank, let's hear from you, sir.
Thank you so much, Brother Prince. You see, what we are discussing here, right? Like you guys rightfully said, I'm going to touch on the agriculture a bit. Because for some of us, we have YouTube channel, right? So we do research and things. So when you really look at, even recently, Ghana, Mahama, some of these world leaders are focusing on what is coming. What is coming, right? Because there is something called Great Depression. It's coming and it's going to come. No matter how you take it, how you feel, it's going to come. Because right now, we are going to have in the future 2 different powerful currency. And this is the BRICS. If the United States dollar will not beat down the BRICS going to beat down the United States dollars. And a pound and those things. So there's a rivalry coming. So what nations are doing now? Let me focus on agriculture. So if you just look at Mahama recently, Mahama right now he's trying to invest in agriculture. Mainly. And he saw this from the Burkinabe, from the Sahel nation. Why? Because the Sahel nation, they see that they are being isolated. Absolutely, they have been isolated. Because if you can see, even in Africa now, African nations are not really calling on the Sahel nation. Okay? And that to the other war body, non-African nations are not calling the Sahel nation. So the Sahel nation, they are isolated. So what happened here is they are adapting. Adaptation is what they are doing. Because right now, since they can't go to no one for help, and no one can come to them for aid or for whatsoever, what they are trying to do is invest in agriculture, mainly food. Because if foods are there or foods are planted whatsoever, and the people are producing, right, it will be very difficult for you to manipulate the minds of the people. It is easier to manipulate the minds of the people if they are hungry. If no food, it's very easy. So what the Sahel nations are doing is they are investing heavily in agriculture to feed themselves. And that is why John Mahama have seen. He's also aligned with that in agriculture in Ghana. So most African nations now are doing it. Fortunately for us, I will say fortunately, Liberia have a leader that they call their president. So good. His background is in agriculture. He's an agriculturalist. But we are not seeing this government heavily investing in agriculture. Brother Women, let me say this. I agree with you, right? Liberia does not have money, but me, I would say Liberia got money. Liberia got money because the government said they came out with $1.something billion budget. Who are you to say no, they don't have it? No, they have it because they told the Liberian people that is their fiscal year budget. They have it. So I'm not going to say Liberia does not have it. Now, what I'm saying here now is, right, saying Liberia have this $1.something billion budget, not it. Let's invest in agriculture because it's going to come a time, like you guys rightfully said. Even me, you call me here for money. it's going to be difficult to send. Because if it gets difficult here, I mean, I got to take care of myself. I got to pay a bill, or else I'm going to be homeless. They're going to kick me out. And if they kick me out, what's going to happen? Barker will be happy because Barker stood up there and said he was clapping, he was happy that Liberians have been deported, that the American government running behind Liberia to send Liberia, but Barker stood up there while other nations were finding solution to the problem in America here, right? Against their citizens. Barker was there having a press conference, laughing and said, Trump is coming for you people. So that is the kind of situation we find ourselves in. Because if I'm homeless on the street, the same Barker will be there laughing at me, telling me I used to mock his government, I used to say he's not my president, I used to be saying all kind of thing, and now I'm sitting there and I'm homeless because he said we are saying that in America here, we sit on national TV or platform, we say all kind of things. But meanwhile, the same Barker used Staton Waterspoon as criminals. Yes, Staton Waterspoon is our criminal in America here. Barker used this man platform and said all kind of things. Barker used key platform with insult and say all kind of things. Barker used other people's platform and they say all kind of things. So it is today that he's saying we sitting in America here somewhere, we sit down behind a camera and say what we want to say. When Barker used the same camera yesterday and said all kind of things. But let me say this. Let me say this, a quote in our end from Booker T. Washington. And that is what Liberian people are feeling today. You know what Booker T. Washington said? Booker T. Washington said, a lie can never become truth, and a wrong can never become right, and evil can never become good just because it was or it is accepted by majority. Just because they told those lies to the Liberian people, and the majority of the Liberian people fought for it, voted for him, put him in power, that doesn't mean what they said it was true. And to the extent they themselves came and said what they said was lie. And because it was lie, that is why they are finding it difficult to do anything for the Liberian people. Because number one, Barker said he got a connection. No, he lied. He do not have connection. Barker said he got partners. Lie. He lied. He do not have partners. And that we are saying today, because if he had a connection, he wouldn't be witch hunting. He wouldn't envy anything. He wouldn't be dedicating projects that was never funded by him. He wouldn't be taking credits for projects that was never funded by him. In fact, he's dedicating projects. Some of those projects are not even finished, unfinished projects. He's dedicating just because he wants to score political points. Project that was initiated and funded by the past administration, right? Because he lied, he do not have those connections, he do not have those partners, he do not have the means, the capability, right? The magnitude to bring to Liberia to provide job, because he lied, he don't have it. And that is what the Liberian people are struggling, are going through it today. And Liberian, let me say this. When you people won the election, because that was your vote that won the election, we came out here, we warned you people and told you people, it's going to come a time we will be here to remind you of the decisions that you made to put Boakai in power. Because we told you people, Boakai, how are you going to put someone in power when this man came vividly, knowingly, told you he knows nothing about policy making? He knows nothing about policy making. He told you one of the reasons why Ellen Johnson said he left him like a packed car, because he was unable to propose any valuable, how they call it, project or anything to Ellen Johnson said. He did not bring any proposal to Ellen Johnson said. He needs nothing about policy making. He told you people, and that was his error. And he told you people that when they brought people from America here with BB computer, thinking that they know anything, but at the end of the day, they knew nothing. This man came and told you, but yet then stay. You look at him and you say he was 42 years experience, 42 years experience of corruption, 42 years experience of failures, 42 years experience of nothing to show in the country. You see, in developed world, if someone is running for position, there is something called track record. They track the person track record. What have they done before we can trust this person and give this person this power or this position again in a developed world, in a serious world? Okay, track record. But what was Bucket track record? We gave Bucket track record, but yet they stay. You follow the lies. And today, it is that lies that have put you in this situation that they themselves say you can't handle. And the truth is, we got another 4 years to go into this, and there's nothing we can do about it. We just got to live with it and live with their lies till 2029. Then you go back again, you make your own decisions.
All right. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so very kindly. Thank you. Uh, there is this issue that I want us to talk about, and from there, maybe let me see. We can just maybe try to run it up, or we'll just use this to just run it up because of time. Uh, I know there are other issues we have, and we'll come in with it, but I want us to look at stop. I want us to look at this issue that has to do with the conference that Boeka is having in Nimba County, the infrastructure conference. What do you make of this infrastructure conference? Is it something that is realistic, or is he trying to please the people of Nimba? Is he serious about infrastructure? And I want you to also put in his recent statement through the information minister telling us that they're sending out the 35 yellow machines that were brought in the country, sending it back. But let's hear from you,
When,
Jake, as you begin.
when you let us joke. When they call conference, man. Oh, sorry to the follower, it's so laughable. A prince can make some jokes on time. I like discussing conference here because we get too much time here. So it left with the president to discuss his conference, but me and me talk about conference because Liberian people get one statement, they say blah. Hey, Frank, you know what I like in the whole episode? I will not laugh. I not laugh. A lot of people got angry from the beginning, but I wanted the person never got angry. When George, no, seriously, when Georgia conceded, when they were counting the vote, there was a reason Georgia conceded. And today is proving the data wrong, all these surrogate, the liars, or the all in the corridor, Washington, D.C., they believe they knew it all. They're smart here. They can change your old age story. Like, bro, 170 some more years, 178, they feel they can change Liberia. Top leaders are rule that country. You think you can just change Liberia over there? It's an old age problem. Then the men that came from us, from another background, a soccer background, came to politics, dominated politics, became senator. Because he went outside and changed, he came by, he said, but I can change a lot of, if the people gave me the opportunity, I would develop this country because I live a lot of places. The doctor, they never believed that he could become president because you are not part of an elite club. You are not part of them. So he, with all norms, he broke the glass ceilings and became president. And later on, when he saw the propaganda, and why he used to make some liar men, all the lie, the gibberish, all of them in the corridor that they can change Liberia. They were there for 12 good years. On Ellen Johnson said, all these see Jeremiah appear today. All of them were there. The Gafuan, the Amara Corner, the Bama Camaro. Let me tell you, friend, all these guys are in power now. No new person in power, no new group. I just all of them in here, all of them they have position. Vice President Joseph Yima Burka, all of them you see, they are vassal to the Kofi Woosen, all of them wrong with the Unity Party. Ellen Johnson said it. And I always say this is a same group of the Ellen Johnson said it. They just changed the bottle. They just change the wine in another bottle. It's the same playbook. It's the same doctrine. The Unity Party don't develop. They don't develop. You know, even if Ellen Johnson said it, I respect. I respect God because I know my reason. They should get develop the country. Never develop the country. You can name a few. You don't name a project on 5 fingers. I can name it right here now. The ministerial complex, the airport, whether the other in the Japan freeway when she not even completed. These are they spent over $300 million to bring electricity. They never brought it. The executive mansion were right there. The same woman that told the Liberian people that destroyed the executive mansion were building 24 hours. She sat down at the foreign ministry. The executive mansion were there. 12 good years. They allocated millions of dollars for that, over millions of dollars every year for the executive mansion. She never built an executive mansion. Like ghosts were in the executive mansion for until George Ryan came along and renovated the executive mansion. The University of Liberia, deplorable. George Ryan and DJ Tarsi. So you know what, friend, you know what I like today? I like how all the project surfacing all around the world, all around Liberia now. Different, they get over 7 different people from different backgrounds going to all the countries and surfing, so they will never lie no more. So you know what they're doing now? Because all the projects, I told you, see today, you yourself, you can't believe that all these things were in the making. Because they never have real PR to talk about these things. They never have billboard. They never had channel to display all these things to bury that a lot. We never had CDC never had a machinery. They never had that machinery that will like some country you see billboard, electronic billboard in the city of the town. You see all the projects all around the world, all around Monrovia and also in the whole Republic of Liberia. But all the things they just coming from all angles. They can't believe it until Jeremiah couldn't have to run way to Grand Judea to dedicate. I don't even know a Baka sitting there.
Unfinished project is not.
Yeah, I don't even finish. Well, you think, friend, you think he did it on his own or the president's because he working? He got to listen to the president. You think he did it on his own to get anything for 2029?
No, he didn't do it.
You think that the president saying?
Yes, he do it on his own.
No, probably he do it on his own as a vice president to claim glory.
No.
If he do it on his own, then he'll get. If he do it on his own, because how can you dedicate an unfinished building? Then you bury the Grandidian people by not putting that son name. That son that don't need on the project. You take it up.
So this is why he didn't do it on his own, right? He didn't do it on his own because if you're gonna do it on your own, I can tell you, then by now, they are press secretary or whosoever, Kula or Sando, whatsoever, but now they have come out, even though with the beef between them, right? But now they have come out to do, to say whatsoever they want to say, whatsoever in things, right? Now, and then even changing the name, right? It was not him that changed our name. It is the government that changed that name. It is Bwaka that changed that name. They did it. It was not. What happened here is.
Okay, he play devil advocate. Yeah. I believe the president in control. For me, he paid me for me. I told you a year before. I said 2029 Bwaka will not be running, will be feeble. He think he paid me away now to start getting relevant and going to all these things in now because the president getting in there as Sammy said, listen to me. You will take the mantle of authority over here by 2028. I will hand power to you. You see that happening?
No, but what happened here is right. That project is a massive project, right? That was done by President Josh Manewia. That even Bwaka himself will want to dedicate that to claim credit as they've been doing it.
Then why Bwaka didn't do it? Then why you got to put ahead of the president?
What happened? I mean, what happened here is right. I don't know why Bwaka himself did not go there. But I want to believe, right? I want to believe Bwaka know about that project. Now, again, they might have their differences, but bear in mind, they still work together. It could be possible that the vice president, convince the president for him to go and dedicate this project. It could be possible that way. Whatsoever they did that, and the president agreed or Barker agreed and say, okay, you know what? You go dedicate this, right? Because at the end of the day, the naive people, all right, the naive people will still see it that it was done by the government of Liberia, which is Barker, right? They won't say it was that Kun did it. No, that's the point. They're not, Liberian people are not going to say that Kun did it, even though he went and whatever and did things, or they will not that Jeremiah did anything. They will say that the government of Liberia, that Barker, you know, did it. And the good thing about it, and it's so good too, we have, you know, women or Makat, you know, these guys, these folks going around, right, educating the Liberian public that these projects, they were done by the former president or they were done by President George Manewia. So people already know that could be one of the reasons. But
let me answer you another question because I never saw all
the project.
I never saw all the video. When he Jeremiah Kun was dedicating that building, that hospital, you saw Zopin in that ceremony?
I did not watch the video live.
Oh, okay. Because you know why I'm saying this? Okay. You know why I'm saying this? You can remember vividly. The president will rebury all the ex-president and he also dug dough from somewhere. They said they take dough body from somewhere, whatsoever they put in cassette. Why Prince Joseph already the videos are there. Before Prince Joseph said dough were not there. Dough were not in there to that particular spot. That ballet was doing different play. They took it away long time. They tried to rebury. Okay, when he reburied to believe, because they believe that the narrative are going, they believe they can take Grand G there no matter what. So I never did nothing to Grand G there. All the frustration from Zopino, all the frustration from Zopino. So if the president can rebury and make those daughter them to come on air this and that, and then say those stories do. Then why the president will send his vice president to dedicate an unfinished hospital, then he vice president talking about Charles Taylor, he talking about Ellen Johnson Sally, we never want to even mention George Weah, everything. Then why that kind of massive project, although it's not finished, but why the president will not go to that, when the president can go to the school building, that school in Bon County, other places, and dedicating the Noka building, all these things for them to get rid of it. Then why the president never went to Grand G there? That's why I say, is the vice president working station is said not to be the front runner of the Unity Party for 2029? I mean, there's writing on the wall that saying it, the president finished getting signal, he said, listen to me, by 2026, start doing the move and shaking here because by 2028, I will pass the mantle of authority to you to see if you can beat George Weah.
Here it is, right? I want you to understand this. I want you to understand this, what I'm about to say, right? Let's say this project was never done by President George Manewia. Let's just put it that way, right? Let's say it was never done by President George Manewia, right? It was done by this government, right? Let's just put it that way. It was done by this government. Now, and then the vice president go dedicate this project, right? And then maybe people thinking about the beef or whatsoever thing going between them. The truth is, the Liberian people, right, will not say it was the vice president project, right? Even though and give it. They're not going to say it was the vice president project.
Yeah, it's a president project, yeah.
Yes. You see the point? So that's why I said the president know about it. Now, even though they might get some beef, right? They may get some beef, but the truth is they still work together. Now, I don't want for the Liberian people to just think that, hey, these people got beef, they got this. No, sometimes it could be political tactics, but that's my point. Why he went and dedicate and present it to the Grandidian or to the Liberian people, right? At the end of the day, the people still believe it was done by the government. They ain't gonna say he built it and then you know what, we're gonna vote for him come 2029, even though he might deviate to go do his own thing and thing. No, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. You see, so again, right? And you said something. Why will they move or remove how they call it, Samarkand do kneel on ne as it was first initiated by President George Mane Weah when they were building our project, that it was supposed to be in honor, name in honor of him. Now, and you struck the point that why would they remove the name? And when Boyka was the one who honor or who was trying to honor the reburial of President Doe. So if this thing was in President Doe's name and this man honoring Doe, respect Doe, why would he remove the name? Why would he not leave the name? But women, let me tell you this. Do you think Boyka did that thing from a heart to rebury Samuel Doe?
No. Because you know what? He just robbed, for me, a reality. I don't know how the crown people would take it whatsoever, but I guess serious relationship. I know a lot of crown people then during those days in our Ezade, in Africa, in Abidjan, all the places there was. Let me just say something. If you really calculate now, you know the president is really vindictive. You know why I say, let me break it down to the final because they quick to forget. A reality. Doe fire, Samuel Doe sacked Joseph Yeman Boyka as the Minister of Agriculture for embezzlement. The facts are there. You can. I want to say in the platform, we don't preach propaganda.
No.
We don't never preach propaganda. That facts here, it was sacked. Agriculture Minister. Like you are putting on the rob, and the reality, the statistics, they don't see newspaper, the data was never here and they carry all that story dual day. The papers are there, are facts. He's sacking for embezzlement. I think $2 million plus dollars. The president is a president, that long-term radical. So all these things in Georgia have serious alignment with the people of Grand G there. Then was open on them playing the ugly politics, the other crime garden, the Barbara Junior playing all these ugly politics, switching side, this and that. So he decided to say, okay, I will rub it in the crown people's face. I will rebury Doe. So all that Doe burying, the top of burying, all that was facade. Like people call it vla. That vla. To just draw the crown people on a side on that particular thing. But our old age story, long time that the president sacked, he said, well, I will handle these people. But why he never, okay, if he really was not vindictive, why he never, when they said they were living before she passed, why she never brought Mami Doe? Okay, today, Mami Doe not working. Junior Doe, all these people. If you say you really love the crown people, if you feed joy around in the south of the crown people, then we see all the massive project. So he will just do it to play on the people, the Granadian people, because they want the thing they can take that Southeast Belt. But they cannot take that Southeast Belt. It's already wrapped up. That you can Zopen or nothing can change there. So for me,
You know,
for me, it's vindictive. Yeah, he just
sure, definitely. You know, like I want to address something here from one of our brother, Eston Wisse. Eston Wisse, according to you, the vice president will not go somewhere without the president's knowledge. But weren't you around these few days when President Boyka told us that the project in Foya, that he had no knowledge about it, the $10 billion project,
Exactly.
where EPS were assigned at that particular project. The place was secure. They had government, not just ordinary security. I mean, government, the executive protection service that belongs to executive. They were assigned at that place. Did Boyka not tell you he wasn't aware? So is it something that should be strange to you? The VP to go somewhere and that the president is not aware?
The president not aware, man.
So why would you say about what he said, what the president said?
Yeah.
But again, we want to say thanks to you.
Let me just add to that, right?
Yeah.
Again, right? He said he knew nothing about the project, and if they were going to tell him about it, he was not going to agree and think.
Exactly so.
But why he went there to go inspect the project, meanwhile, it was not Manuel you that went there to inspect the project. The project is not yours. Why you want to spend it?
Well, the president said never knew about the yellow machine. If you remember, she said, Mama they're towing a yellow machine company. So, like that, you see, they guys like can be ready on the laughing, they can be in our feelings. They can be in our feelings. They can be in our feelings.
Yeah,
So, a lot of things. But a lot of things, let me tell the same guy again. You finish forgetting that all this appointment, they were signed, that they will bring it back. So the president in control. When we tell you the president in control, isn't that joking yet? Let me tell this guy, they see people within the Unity Party close to the president. They're doing a lot of leakages in the media. Let me tell you, how would I know all that things then? How would I know? How the top journalists in the Republic of Liberia since everything quit? How we knew guns were coming in the country? How everyone knew that the guns were coming from Turkey? They in that protest we saw the gun with the national police. It be blown out a long time before the gun appeared in the country, and they paraded that gun. And most of that gun in the hand of the military also. Most of that gun is in the hand of the military. How will we know? The country is a small country.
And maybe that's one of the reasons they even put the restriction on there, because the US.
But the president is not in control.
Yeah, thing of that nature, especially when it comes to ammunition, the US want to come from here. But you go, because of security reason now, we even know the armed dealer from Turkey. Look, guys, what is the high
so much? I think time I've caught up with us. But I want to say thanks. I hope next week you will have wonderful time with us, fellow Liberians. We are sorry for the timing, and you were off on too many things going on. But I want to say thanks to all of you. So until we meet again, hopefully next week, or maybe
we'll be watching the sauna now. We'll be watching the sauna.
Come on, man. We're gonna sauna.
We get prepared for the sauna. Yeah, thank you so much, and have yourself a wonderful time.
I'll be watching Soup like that, because Soup said that day they go to air you to go pay.
I know.
We want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money, that I beg them. The money should be used to bless our people. Thank you, and God bless.